Good afternoon. Welcome to the video discussion for January 20th, 2014. It's currently 2 p.m. and we have a lot to talk about as a major winter storm will be impacting the Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan area by tomorrow evening. In fact, some of that light snow, will start off tomorrow morning and will get progressively heavier. It's going to be a very interesting forecast. Now, currently we have temperatures very warm in the mid to upper 40s, even a few lower 50s along the coast. But look to your west towards portions of New York and Pennsylvania. Temperatures are rapidly falling off into the 20s and 30s as an Arctic cold front is approaching the region. So pretty much today is going to be the warmest day of the next 7, really the next 15, as an Arctic regime sets in and the potential for plenty of snowfall is on the way. Now here is the latest surface map from the SPC, and you can see that Arctic cold front approaching. You can see temperatures are in the 50s along the coast here, but then they fall off rapidly into the 30s, 20s, teens. This is a very strong Arctic cold front, and that's what's going to be moving through tonight to set the stage for a significant snowfall event for the Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan area. So the first thing we have to do is get the cold air in, which is happening tonight. We could see a few rain, snow showers as the cold front moves through, but for the most part, it's a dry frontal passage. The big thing you'll notice this evening is a shift in the winds to the northwest, increasing at 10 to 20 miles per hour, and temperatures rapidly falling through the 30s, 20s, and eventually into the upper teens along the coast and mid-teens over the interior. As far as the latest radar, again, we have some rain and snow showers over the interior that will drop south through the region as the cold front moves through. And here is our disturbance that will dive towards the mid-Atlantic coast, rapidly intensify, and produce a heavy snow event along the northern mid-Atlantic coast from Philadelphia to New York and up through southern New England as the storm intensifies. Here's the latest infrared satellite picture. You can see we have that cold front moving through, and we have plenty of cold air. This is all cold air. This isn't cloud cover. This is Arctic cold air that's going to be invading the Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan area and much of the eastern United States. So we have one disturbance over the plains, another disturbance over the northern plains. All these disturbances are going to interact and basically create a negatively tilted trough off of the mid-Atlantic coast and produce a significant snowfall over the region. But let's really dive into the water vapor satellite picture. This is the disturbance. Currently it's what's called a positive tilt. By the time it gets to basically the mid-Atlantic, around Virginia, that trough will go neutral and then negative, and that's going to allow the low pressure system to slow down just a little bit, intensify, and basically focus the heaviest precipitation along the Philadelphia and New York City corridor. The key point here, and the reason why the models are picking up on this, and I warned about this, is that this disturbance is stronger than what was forecasted for the past few days. And I warned about this constantly. These disturbances are going to be more dynamic. Now the model guys are starting to pick that up. And it's picking up also the fact that there's more moisture streaming in from the Pacific, specifically around Mexico, that's starting to interact with this pattern. That's why we're seeing a more advertisement of snowfall threats, and we're seeing more dynamic low pressure systems showing up on the model guidance. It's not that the model guidance is changing the weather. I actually saw that in a comment. It's because the model guidance is getting better data to work with, better sampling. So as a result, we get a better idea of what we're dealing with in this weather pattern. And basically what we're dealing with is Arctic air interacting with a series of disturbances, and the Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan area is right in that battleground with warm ocean waters over the Atlantic that are averaging above normal, interacting with Arctic air where temperatures are struggling in the 20s, and that leads to trouble, and that leads to high snow ratios and the potential for moderate to major snowstorms over the region. So let's dive into this particular storm. So this is the latest European model guidance from the Penn State AWOL website, and by tomorrow morning, this disturbance will be approaching the Tennessee River Valley and becoming basically a neutral tilt. By the time we get to Wednesday morning, it's a negative tilt. See, that's what it means when it's a negative tilt. And that means between here and here, You have a tremendous amount of lifting. You have what's called a strong jet streak that develops just to the north of the New York City metropolitan area. And all of these factors leads to a rapid intensification of this low pressure system off the New Jersey coast by roughly 50 miles. So this storm's primarily going to be basically Tuesday afternoon on through early Wednesday morning, like 1, 2 a.m. By the time you get up on Wednesday morning, everything will be done. You'll be dealing with blowing snow, though, as winds will be strong from the north. Now, let me show you the latest NAM model guidance. Now, here's the whole basic idea of this forecast. Temperatures are going to be very cold, so you're going to have dealing with a high ratio, but your snow ratios. However, you're also going to have very strong winds. So you have to counter that because that kind of limits the snow ratio protection because snow crystals get destroyed in very strong wind environment. So you have to kind of balance it out. Now, temperatures by themselves will support a 20 to 1, 17 to 1 ratio. However, when you factor in the winds, you're looking at 15 to 1. You combine that with generally almost all the model guidance now focusing on about a half an inch to a quarter of an inch of precipitation from basically southern Connecticut, Long Island, the immediate New York City metro, central southern New Jersey, and the Philadelphia metro, less as you go north. So taking those factors into account and the temperatures and the speed of this system and the potential for convective snowfall, that's a key factor here, especially as you head towards the coast in, let's say, right along Long Island, New York City, Monmouth, Ocean County, Burlington, Atlantic, Cape May, Cumberland. It's going to be very interesting in this area right here on Tuesday night because you're dealing with an environment that is highly convective, that's going to be capable of producing banding, that also is going to influence the snow potential to the north, limiting it as you get very strong banding right along the coast. So here's the overall forecast here. Looking at a start time of light snow between 7 and 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. Going to become progressively heavier with the snow really picking up between 5 p.m. Tuesday, tomorrow, and 1 a.m. Wednesday, and ending from west to east 1 a.m. to 4 a.m. on Wednesday. In the light blue sections, that's up here in northern Connecticut, northeastern Pennsylvania, only looking at 1 to 3 inches. And the reason why, again, is because I think the best dynamics are going to be focused along the coast. And that's going to lead to a ragged precipitation shield, I think, over the northern interior here. So you'll get snow in high ratios, just not much in the way of precipitation. I think that's going to be focused more towards the coast. A little bit further south towards Hartford, back towards just south of Wilkes-Barre, towards Pottsfield, northwestern New Jersey here, looking at 2 to 5 inches of snow. The pink area, which is basically south central Connecticut, back through northwestern New Jersey, Allentown, Lancaster, Reading, York, looking at 4 to 8 inches of snow here. In the purple area, this is where we start getting into the banding here, around New Haven, Yonkers, Newark, Edison, just north and west of Philadelphia, and much of southeastern Pennsylvania, back towards Baltimore. Look for 5 to 10 inches of snow in these areas. And that snow is going to be a very light, powdery type snowfall that's going to be blowing around even on Wednesday morning, reducing visibility. And then my target areas, extreme coastal Connecticut, all along Long Island, New York City, central southern New Jersey, and the immediate Philadelphia metropolitan area. 7 to 10 inches. Remember, we're looking at about half an inch to 3/4 of an inch of precipitation. So take a half an inch, multiply by 15, and you get about 7 inches, give or take, about half an inch or so. So that's the low end. And then the high end, you go up to 10 inches with possibly locally higher amounts in some of your banding. Okay, so that covers you up to 12 inches, possibly a little bit more. We're going to have to watch that very carefully. As far as impacts, this is key. The worst impacts will be from the evening tomorrow on through early morning hours on Wednesday. Winds are going to be 15 to 30 miles per hour with gusts over 40 miles per hour at times. And that's going to reduce the visibility below a mile. So it's going to be very rough traveling tomorrow evening into early Wednesday morning. Temperatures are going to fall into the lower to mid-teens over the interior, upper teens to lower 20s along the coast. And that means your wind chills are going to be in the single digits. So it's not going to be very pretty with this storm Tuesday night, tomorrow night, on through Wednesday morning. Once this storm leaves on Wednesday morning, well, unfortunately, the cold air isn't leaving anytime soon. So we're going to be dealing with temperatures struggling in the upper teens to lower 20s for highs for Wednesday. Thursday, lower to mid 20s, big warm up. Of course, on Friday morning, we have a potential for another weak disturbance moving through Thursday night into Friday morning with scattered snow showers, possibly a period of light snow. We'll have to watch that disturbance as well as it's diving towards the mid-Atlantic coast. Then, another disturbance to keep an eye on Saturday into Sunday. Another clipper with scattered snow showers. And if that wasn't enough, keep an eye on this storm right here, diving in towards Monday, could produce another period of light to moderate snow. And if you want to look beyond 7 to 10 days, well, anyone who is saying that this pattern isn't going to produce snow, well, you're going to get your snow as we get another storm potentially developing right along the coast next Tuesday into Wednesday with the threat for moderate to heavy snow for the Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan area. And remember, temperatures throughout this entire period are in the 20s. That's right, 20s. So there is no potential whatsoever for mixing here or any rainfall. This is all snow. And then as we head towards the end of the forecast period, as we get ready just in time for the Super Bowl, there's another disturbance on the way. More energy entering the west coast with the subtropical jet stream and plenty of cold air to play with. It's going to get interesting in the next 10 to 15 days throughout the Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan area. Of course, I'll keep an eye on this storm as the storm organizes, and of course I'll have live updates and keep you updated on exactly what to expect with this major winter storm. I'm your meteorologist, Stephen DiMartino. As always, you can follow the latest weather information at nynjpaweather.com and nynjpaweather on Twitter, Facebook, Google+, and LinkedIn. As always, stay safe out there. And please, if you don't have to travel tomorrow evening, don't.